I'm going to show you guys how to make these designed sheet cakes, this one being of course a birthday theme, but you might remember most of mine from Christmas time, all these different designs, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and let's get into it. Of course, to start, we're going to need a design, so depending on what theme you're making this cake for, go ahead and find an image that you like and trace it onto parchment paper using an edible marker. I cut this parchment paper to fit my pan perfectly. We're going to be using a small 13 by 9 inch pan. And of course, if you're using an iPad, just make sure to sanitize it first. Now this is the part that makes people's heads explode. Yes, we're separating 12 egg yolks from 12 egg whites, but I promise this cake is worth it. Set those egg whites aside. To the egg yolks, add sugar, vegetable oil, milk, and vanilla. Give that a nice mix until it's fully combined. Then we're going to sift in flour and cornstarch. Once these dry ingredients are sifted in and you begin to mix it, you'll notice that it becomes a really thick mixture. I switched from my silicone spatula to a whisk to get it really fully combined and nice and smooth, but keep in mind it will be a thicker batter. Set that aside and pull back the egg whites from earlier. As soon as they start to look frothy, go ahead and add in that granulated sugar and vinegar. The vinegar is going to help stiffen these egg whites and keep this mixture really fluffy. Mix those egg whites until they reach stiff peaks and look like this, at which point you can add it to the original batter. Now this is the most important part. Very gently fold in those egg whites. It's okay if at the end the batter is still a little streaky because we want it to stay nice and fluffy, and it should look like this when you're done. Now you can go ahead and take that batter and scoop out a little bit at a time to make every color you need for the design. Now I'm placing these into piping bags and just make as many colors as you need, like I am here. And now when we go to pipe it, we want to make sure to place that parchment paper that we designed earlier onto our greased cookie sheet. Make sure that you grease it. And now I'm going in with my black outline and I'm making my first layer of design. So between each color, I'm going to let this pan freeze for about 15 minutes. We really want to set those colors so they don't smudge. So I froze the black outline. Now I'm going in with my cake color here. I'm going to freeze that again for 15 minutes and then add in more details with the pink. Then freezing it one more time for about 15 minutes again and adding the last set of details. Once I have my images all colored in, I froze it again for 15 to 20 minutes. Then you're adding the original uncolored batter on top of this. I recommend piping it instead of spreading it so we don't mess up that design underneath. Then you're going to go ahead and bake this for only 8 minutes at 375. Right when it comes out, flip it onto parchment paper and then peel up that original parchment paper that we designed. With the extra batter, we're going to make 2 more layers of cake, and of course this part doesn't matter as much because we don't have a design underneath. So just go ahead and fill up that pan again and make sure you have parchment underneath and that it's greased just like from before, and peel back that parchment paper right when they're out of the oven. Now, once the cakes are cooled, I am layering it with whipped cream. The 2 undesigned layers, of course, are going on the bottom and in the center. To go with the birthday theme, I added sprinkles in my whipped cream, but you can add strawberries or any other kind of filling that you want in here. And of course, we're putting the designed sheet cake on the very top. Now I'm just going in with a serrated knife and cleaning up the edges to give it a more finished and smooth look. And that is it. I think these cakes look a lot more intimidating than they actually are, so I believe in all of you to be able to make these on your own. And for extra help, I've created a super detailed guide to take you through every single step of the process. You can find it on my website by clicking the link in my bio.